Everybody. So, if you've been following the videos, I lost my file. Let's go ahead and open that back up. There it is. This is what we have so far. I've used the live paint group. I'm ready to start working with gradients. Let me show you how to do that. Hopefully you waited. If you do have gradients in there already, take them out, put a solid color in, because if you have gradients in here, it's going to be a disaster. Let me just explain why. So I'm going to put something in here. Let me make a gradient. And what the heck, I'll give it some color, just, for fun. I'll give this a fill. Oops. Accidentally gave my stroke a fill. And what we're going to be doing next is taking a solid color, not a gradient, and expanding it. And remember, when you expand something, it turns it from a what it is into a shape. That's what expansion does. So if I grab this gradient and I try to expand it, the computer gets confused because it's like, wait a second, what is it supposed to be? So for example, right now it's saying, well, specify how many objects is it going to be. So if I just say okay, it looks like it's pretty much the same thing. But now if I come in here, look at that. I have 255 shapes in there now. A disaster because it's a gradient. So every single one of those has to be a solid color. Total disaster. Do not use gradients for this. You're wasting your time. All right, what you're going to do instead, so you're not wasting your time, is let's grab all this. Object, expand, okay. And because these are solid colors, check it out. If I grab this and I move it over, look at that. That's now a solid object. Pretty cool. Now let's say if I want to add a gradient to this one, edit, undo, move, edit, undo, move. What I get instead of what I have is if I go ahead and add a gradient to, oops, I did the fill again. I keep doing the fill. To there, now I get that. And of course, hopefully you already know this. You can click on the gradient tool. You can rotate this. You can alter your gradients. You can expand them. But here's the problem. Okay, for a single object like this, works really well, right? Let's say I come over here and I want this to gradient from this arrow all the way over here. So I'm going to grab the direct selection tool. I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to click on all three of these. So you'd think I get a gradient that went from like this color to this color. And just to switch up the colors a little bit so it's not exactly the same thing, I'll go ahead and I'll add, some new colors in here that I haven't used yet, just for the heck of it. Get rid of this blue, get rid of this black. Look what happens. Not thrilled about that. It's going from the white to the yellow, white to yellow, white to yellow. I don't want it to do that. I want it to go from white to yellow. Let me show you how to do that. It took me a while to figure this out, and I love it. I'm going to go ahead and select this object, hold down the shift key, select out this object, hold down the shift key, and select this object, and hold down the shift key. And go to Object, Compound Path, Make. Look at that. So by making a compound path, basically the computer treats it as one big shape. If I click here, see how it grabs everything? So if I try to move it, it moves the whole thing together. So that's what you want to do. So let me show you how to do that again. I'm going to do it here again. Shift here, hold the shift key down, grab this one. Again, I'm using the direct selection tool, Object, Compound Path, Make, and go to my gradient tool. Oh, I've changed my mind. I don't want to use that gradient. Let's use something else. So easy with these swatches to like play around. Oopsie, to play around with this. Remind me later. So I can get rid of a bunch of colors and make this as awesome as I want it to be. Look at that. So obviously for a shape like this, I don't really need to worry about that. That's pretty much easy to work with. So that is the end of this video. There concludes how to use this tool. Pretty neat stuff though, I have to say. So that's how you use compound paths, and of course, please play around with different options. Don't just have everything going from left to right. Change your angle, extend the gradient, really play around, with multiple colors, and just see what you can do, because it just makes it so much more interesting than left to right. Alrighty then.